Hi, my name is Corey Rosen, and I'm in the college double majoring in Spanish and math.
Gramig, International Business and Spanish. I went to both Quito, Ecuador with Professor Saez Reese, and I also went to Madrid with the Georgetown program at Comillas.
My name is Emma. I majored in Spanish. I studied abroad in Santiago, Chile, and I grew up in Boston.
Yeah, so my name is Anne-Marie Altamare, and I am a Spanish major and also a biology major. I studied abroad in Salamanca, Spain, and my hometown is Ossining, New York.
My name is Daniela. I'm a econ and Spanish major with a minor in business administration. I'm from Manhasset, New York, and I'm graduating this year, 2020.
My name is Rachel Barrows. I'm a Spanish major and a computer science major and a Portuguese minor. I'm originally from London in the UK, but I live in Caldwell, New Jersey now. I studied abroad in Valparaiso, Chile, in the spring of my junior year.
Isabel Perret. I'm a government and Spanish double major in the college, and I'm from Larchmont, New York.
My thesis is about the women's movement and specifically women's suffrage in Spain and the United States, and like an evaluation of factors that contributed for or against women gaining the right to vote. And then I kind of like bring it all together with a synthesis and case studies of those factors in the women's movement today in Spain and the United States.
This has talked about the notion of hope in an economic context in Spain during the economic miracle, which was between 1959 and 1973, give or take. And basically what we looked at was how during the autarky between 1939, when Franco assumed power after winning the Civil War, until the end of the autarky in 1959, transformed this notion of what the Spanish market would be interested in, essentially, once economic liberalization could occur. And when it did occur at the beginning of the economic miracle, we basically established this notion of how hope as an intangible concept became commodified as a tangible realization through the purchase of goods like televisions, appliances, cars, things like that.
My thesis, I'm studying 5 speeches by the former Chilean president, Michelle Bachelet, and I'm using a border theory by Gloria Anzaldúa to analyze how inclusive those speeches are.
So my thesis topic is about the aging population in Spain and the social and healthcare implications of how the aging population in Spain is kind of changing like the landscape of Spain's population and causing a bit of a tension with the changing needs of like the healthcare due to the aging population, but also the sort of traditional social like identity of like the family being the one who's responsible for caring for the elderly population.
So my thesis looks at the connection between FC Barcelona and Catalan nationalism. So it looks at FC Barcelona's role as a symbol of Catalan identity throughout its history, through 2 dictatorships, a civil war, through economic recessions, which helps to understand why it's so important to Catalonia, and later helps to understand its function in the Catalan independence movement.
Thesis topic was about foreigner talk. It was about speech modification of the Spanish and Colombian dialects using virtual exchange technology.
Thesis dealt with the relationship between the multilingualism in Spain and the political polarization there today.
Cool. I learned, I think, over everything, the importance of maintaining hope during different periods of repression in Catalonia or in wherever part of the world, because it is something universal. The symbols of cultural identity remain and are symbols of hope throughout those times. And I think in a more academic sense, I think something I learned about writing the thesis is that you have to stay patient and don't get frustrated. You get a lot of changes and comments throughout the process, and it's important to take everything into account and not stress out.
think the biggest recommendation I can give is to make sure that you're writing about something you genuinely care about. It's a lot of work, it's very time consuming, and it also requires you to be super self-motivated. So if you're not passionate about your topic, you're not going to want to write about it, and you have to. That's the name of the game of thesis. So picking something that you're really interested in, and then if you can find an advisor who's equally as passionate as you are about the topic, it really goes a long way. So my advisor was Professor Stiles from the sociology department. So sure enough, she actually studied abroad in Madrid and ended up living there for many, many years. So although she's not in the Spanish department, she is fluent in Spanish. And she is, like me, very passionate about like women's rights and women's suffrage and things like that. So it was a really good match.
Recommendations, I would say one of the most important things is to make sure you've selected something that you really enjoy. You definitely don't want to spend an entire semester researching and writing about something that bores you. So I think one of the most important things is to decide what you're going to write your thesis on. Also make sure that you have a mentor who you feel comfortable working with and who you feel challenges you academically. The professor of the thesis course is there to like help you and guide your thesis writing, but it really helps to also have the support of another faculty member who's knowledgeable in the field and who can guide you and challenge you along the way.
I really liked having the class with just the Spanish majors. So in the fall, it was like the capstone with all of the Spanish majors in my year. And then this past semester, it was just the 8 students who were actually like writing the thesis. And it was really cool because like up until this year, we hadn't had that sort of group setting to get to know the other people in our major. So there was definitely a lot of like bonding and solidarity through that process. We also got really close with our professors and our mentors during the process, and it ended up being a topic that, even though it was a lot of research and it was definitely challenging to write so many pages about this topic, it was like really rewarding to actually have finished it, and it was really interesting to learn more about.
I started studying Spanish when I was in 6th grade, and that was kind of rudimentary school Spanish. And then up through now, to be in college. And my favorite thing about Spanish is the people that it has connected me with. I got to meet a lot of different people and was able to speak with people that I never would have been able to had I only spoken English. In Washington, D.C., I got to be connected with a lot of immigrant students and families, and I got to form really great relationships with those people. Through my education class, I got to volunteer at a bilingual elementary school in Washington, D.C. So I just really feel that Spanish has opened up opportunities for me to meet people of different backgrounds with different experiences than I have.
A piece of advice I would give would be to choose a topic that is really something that's important to you. You end up spending so much time working with that topic that it ideally would be something interesting to you and maybe even personal to you.
I would say it does not hurt to take an intro class if you don't have any experience with Spanish. In my particular case, I went to a high school and had a very inspiring Spanish teacher, and she really motivated me to continue studying in college. And that's why I ended up majoring in Spanish, was partly because of her influence, but also because of Georgetown's Spanish department. As a prospective major, when I walked in to Georgetown, essentially my 3rd day of being there, my faculty advisor at the time, Professor Sayas Reese, actually wanted to have a meeting, and we talked about, why am I interested in Spanish? What do I hope to get out of this experience? So in that sense, the department really cultivates your curiosity from the beginning. And I think for anybody who has the slightest bit of curiosity can kind of start to see, where do my interests overlap with what the Spanish department offers? And I think the end result is that you'll have a very fruitful and positive experience.
Definitely do a lot of things differently. If I were to do it again, I would first off narrow down my topic a lot more. I would separate my semester up differently and potentially do some of my formatting differently. There's a lot in retrospect that I would do differently. I think that's part of the experience and part of what would prepare me to potentially do a graduate thesis one day. But it was still a really rewarding experience, and I still think I got a lot out of it, even though there are certain things I would do differently.
Yes, I would definitely do it again. It has been a really rewarding experience, not only learning so much about the team and about Catalonia, but also learning about the academic process of writing an intensive research paper, and working closely with different professors has been really rewarding. If I were to do anything differently, I think from the beginning, I would again, like, tell myself not to worry or freak out if I have a chapter or an idea for a chapter ready, and then if an advisor tells me that I have to change everything around, just be really patient and go with that.